Welcome all of you to my channel. Today we are going to talk about a comedy magical movie Dhadakebaaz, which was released in the year 1990. And I hope you will definitely like the story of this movie. The story begins with Lakshya, who was standing with a magic lamp in his hand. And in front of him was a magical genie that had come from within the same lamp. Lakshya expresses his wish that he has been hungry for many days, so he wants to eat Dhadakebaaz so that his hunger can be satiated. But Jinn mocks him and showers Lakshya with gold coins. Meanwhile, Lakshya is woken up from sleep, and Lakshya was actually inside the jail. That means Lakshya Jinn and those gold coins were dreaming about all this. And the Jinn-like man is Lakshya's friend named Bappa. Lakshya has another friend named Mahesh, and all three of them are best friends. With this, all three are going to be released from jail the next day. After being released from jail, Mahesh decides that all three of them will go their separate ways. Because if he stays with him, then he will end up in jail for some reason or the other. All three go their separate ways. While walking on the way, Lakshya finds 5 rupees. And Lakshya now decides to convert that 5 rupees into 500 rupees. Lakshya goes to a bar and plays cards, and wins round after round. But Lakshya was not a lucky man in this. In fact, he was an expert in sleight of hand. He had hidden many cards with him. But Lakshya's theft is caught, and everyone started beating him together. Meanwhile, Mahesh comes there and helps Lakshya. After some time, Bappa also reached there. And now all three of them together teach everyone a good lesson and run away from there. Next, all three of them go to a small village named Shivapur. There was a temple of Lord Shankar in that village, and people said that the god of this temple fulfills everyone's wishes. Lakshya, Mahesh, and Bappa all three take a pledge in front of God that from today onwards they will give up all bad deeds and live their lives by working hard, after which all three of them reach a place where some company workers were protesting. And as soon as the owner of that company comes there, similarly, by mistake a stone thrown by Lakshya hits Constable Rida, and for the crime of throwing stones, Constable Rida puts Lakshya in jail. In the jail where Lakshya was kept, a man named Kavatiya Mahakal was already serving his sentence. The man bullies Lakshya and makes him massage his feet. On the other hand, Mahesh goes to meet the duty officer to release Lakshya. PSI Umajadav was on duty there, and she knew Mahesh's record very well. Also, Mahesh is very good at shooting, but he used his skill at the wrong place. Uma does not leave Lakshya, but she gives Mahesh some time to meet Lakshya. Mahesh goes to Lakshya and says, "Don't worry, tomorrow I will do anything to get you out of here." The same night, some of Kavatiya Mahakal's men come to the jail to free their companion. And as soon as they start running away from there, Lakshya stops them. Lakshya cleverly imprisons everyone in jail. Now Uma was very happy with Lakshya, because Lakshya caught the men of Kavatiya Mahakal, whom even Uma could not catch. But Lakshya had no idea that he was Kavatiya Mahakal's man. And after all, who is Kavatiya Mahakal? The next day, Mahesh again comes to request Uma to leave Lakshya. On this, Uma says that he left Lakshya in the morning itself. After being released from jail, Lakshya went to Lord Shankar's temple, where he meets Ganga, the flowers seller. There were some last flowers left near the Ganga, which she gives to Lakshya. Lakshya had gone inside the temple. While outside, some rowdy men came and started teasing Ganga. Then Lakshmi comes there and tries to save Ganga. But Lakshya was alone, so he could not do anything. At that very moment, Bappa and Mahesh arrive and teach those rogues a lesson. And in the joy of saving herself, Ganga takes all three of them to her house for tea. In the house, along with Ganga's mother, there was Havildar Ride, who is Ganga's maternal uncle. Ganga tells her mother and her maternal uncle how these three saved her life. Pleased with this, Ganga's mother gives her old room to the three of them to live in. Since that room was very old, there was a lot of garbage there. There Lakshya praises himself that he has courageously caught the men of Kavatiya Mahakal. Then Mahesh says that you also know who Kavatiya Mahakal is. He is a bloody killer, a beast. Lakshya got a bit scared by the statement of Mahesh. Here Kavatiya sees Mahakal, who was very angry with his man. And this is the same man who was with Lakshya in his jail. And he escaped from the prison alone, leaving behind his companion who had come to rescue him. Kavatiya Mahakal sends another man along with him to the jail, so that he could free his remaining men. Both of them go to the jail and threaten the constable with a gun. They also capture Uma. Meanwhile, Mahesh, Bappa, and Lakshya come out of the jail, because when Lakshya was released from jail, his clothes were left behind in the jail. At the police station, Lakshya sees that Kavatiya Mahakal's men are there. That's why he runs out. But outside, the police and Kavatiya Mahakal's men were firing at each other. Meanwhile, Mahesh takes the gun of the constable lying on the ground and saves Uma. On the other side, another man shoots at Uma, but Mahesh takes that bullet on himself. Now both of them ran away, and this time Kavati Mahakal was very angry. He gives them one last chance that they have to kidnap Ganga, the niece of Havildar Berde, so that he can demand his men in exchange for Ganga. Here Ganga was collecting flowers in the forests. Then suddenly, someone comes behind him. Ganga was very scared by his image, but he was none other than Laksha. Further, Laksha and Ganga were talking to each other lovingly. But then Kavati Mahakal's men reached there. Laksha and Ganga escaped from them, and while running, both of them reached an old fort. Ganga tells that this fort was the fort of a magician, and no one comes here. At that very moment, Laksha suddenly enters the fort through a magical door. Sliding down from there, he reaches a cave. Here outside, Kavati Mahakal's people had caught Ganga, whereas inside there were some scary things in front of Laksha. Laksha sees a bottle some distance away. As soon as he held that bottle, there was a loud thunder, and Laksha was thrown some distance away. There was a man inside the bottle whose name is Gangaram. He tells his story to Laksha. He tells that thousands of years ago, I was learning magic from my teacher in this fort, but unknowingly he committed a big mistake, and as a punishment for that mistake, his teacher imprisoned him in this bottle. His teacher, besides being cruel, was also somewhat kind. He gave him some magic sand, with the help of which he will finish that sand with the help of some man. In that way he will be free from this bottle. Now Laksha was very happy, because finally his dream has come true. Laksha first asks to take himself to Ganga, where he saves Ganga from Kavati Mahakal's men. Then Laksha and Ganga run away from there and escape from all of them by flying in the air. Later, Gangaram takes both of them safely to Ganga's house. But Berde was angry after seeing both of them together. Constable catches Laksha and complains about him to Ganga's mother. But before Ganga's mother's arrival, Gangaram had already saved Laksha from the Berde. Now here Laksha and Gangaram decide among themselves that he will come in front of Laksha only when he will whistle a tune. And as soon as another person comes, he will disappear. After some time Mahesh and Bappa arrive there. And as soon as he arrived, Gangaram disappeared. Laksha tries to call Gangaram, but Gangaram does not come. Mahesh and Bappa think that Laksha has gone crazy about Ganga. That's why he keeps thinking only about Ganga and Gangaram. That night Laksha secretly goes out with the bottle. And when Gangaram is called outside, Gangaram comes. Laksha was very angry with Gangaram because he did not come when he was called. Gangaram says that as per their agreement, when Laksha will put his hand on the bottle and whistle, only then Gangaram will appear before him. Then Bappa arrives there, and as soon as he arrived, Gangaram disappeared again. Mahesh also woke up hearing the voice of Bappa and Laksha. Now Laksha again calls Gangaram in front of both of them, and this time Laksha had placed his hand on the bottle. Mahesh and Bappa don't trust Laksha, and then Gangaram appears in the bottle. Seeing this, Mahesh and Bappa's eyes remain wide open. Both of them cannot believe their eyes, but whatever it was right in front of them. Laksha asks Gangaram for some different dishes to eat, because they are all tired of eating only pav bhaji for the last 4 days. Gangaram immediately brings such things for everyone that Bappa immediately pounces on eating them. Mahesh tells Laksha that the villagers of Shivapur have given him a responsibility. The three of them have to paint the temple before the Mahashivratri festival. Laksha asks Gangaram to paint the temple, and Gangaram had painted the temple with his magic sand in just 5 minutes. Gangaram also takes all three of them to the temple to show it. Gangaram had painted the temple in such a way that even the best painters could not do it. Further, they all celebrate the festival of Mahashivratri with great pomp, and they also dance and sing there. As soon as the singing and dancing ended, Kavati and Mahakal's people attacked the village, and everyone escapes from them and hides. But Laksha was fearless of all this, because he had the magical powers of Gangaram. But when Laksha looked, he found that the magic bottle was not with him because the bottle fell from Laksha while he was dancing. Uma performs her duty and fights with the goons, and Mahesh also supports him. Meanwhile, Laksha manages to get the bottle, and he takes the bottle and goes to the temple. On the other hand, one of Mahakal's men captured Uma, because of which even Mahesh is not able to do anything now. And along with that, Bappa and the rest of the policemen were also now arrested. Then only Kavati Mahakal arrives there, and he asks everyone to kneel before him. Now Laksha had Gangaram with him, so he calls him. And in no time, guns magically appear in the hands of Mahesh and Bappa, and they save all the villagers from Kavati Mahakal. Now here Laksha also had to impress Ganga. That's why Laksha also asks for a gun from Gangaram. But Gangaram, instead of giving him the gun, gives him a magic, due to which bullets are fired from Laksha's fingers, and Kaptia Mahakal runs away from there with his tail between his legs. Laksha, Mahesh and Bappa had now become heroes in front of the villagers. At the same time, Uma also started liking Mahesh. At the police station, Mahesh tells Uma about Gangaram, but after hearing all this, Uma does not believe Mahesh's words. So Mahesh takes Uma to meet Gangaram, where Laksha and Ganga were dancing with Gangaram in the same bottle. He was quite shocked to see all this. Laksha tells Uma that it was Gangaram who saved them from Kaptia Mahakal near the temple. But all these talks are heard by a Kaptia Mahakal's man. He goes and tells Mahakal about Gangaram. Now Kaptia Mahakal knew about Gangaram. That is why he sends his men to steal that bottle. Here Laksha had gone to Ganga's house to meet her. And this time Mahakal's man steals Gangaram. Meanwhile Laksha reaches there. But Laksha is unable to save Gangaram. At that very moment Mahesh and Bappa come and chase them. And after fighting with them, they succeed in getting Gangaram. Mahesh thinks that this bottle is not safe with him because Kaptia Mahakal has come to know about the bottle. So Mahesh takes that bottle and goes to Uma, so that Gangaram can remain safe with Uma in the police station. But at that very moment Uma and Mahesh had to go for some work and that bottle was on the same table. After seeing that bottle, Radha feels that this is some trick of Mahakal, and he is the one who has kept the liquor bottle in the police station so as to defame the name of the police station. Radha throws the bottle into the forest behind the police station, where Laksha was waiting for Ganga. But instead of Ganga, Kaptia Mahakal's men come there. They kill Laksha. Just then Laksha gets Gangaram's bottle in his hands. But Laksha cannot whistle, because his face had become swollen due to the beating. During their fight, a man fell down and became unconscious, and the rest of the people take Laksha with them. On the other hand, Uma was very angry with Radha, because he threw away that bottle. At that time, Mahesh and Bappa come there and tell that both Laksha and Ganga are missing. Everyone goes to the forest to search for them. There they meet Kaptia Mahakal's man, who was unconscious. In an unconscious state, he tells them the address of Kaptia Mahakal. Here Laksha was with Kaptia Mahakal, and he asks Laksha to call Gangaram, but Laksha was not whistling. Kaptia Mahakal feels that Laksha is doing this intentionally, so he threatens to kill Ganga, and begins the countdown. But even after Laksha's efforts, the whistle does not blow but the bullet fires. And that bullet was fired from Mahesh's gun. Mahesh, Uma and Bappa had attacked Kaptia Mahakal. They save Laksha. Laksha takes Gangaram to a safe place and calls Gangaram. Gangaram teaches a lesson to Kaptia Mahakal as well as Kaptia Mahakal's men with the help of magic sand. And when other people try to fire the gun instead of the gun, snakes and frogs appear in their hands. Laksha asks Gangaram to capture Kaptia Mahakal, but Gangaram is unable to do so, because he had run out of magic sand. Now all the Kaptia Mahakal were in the captivity of them. Laksha asks Gangaram to help him by any means, but Gangaram cannot do anything without the magic sand. At that very moment Gangaram gives his locket to Laksha, and he says that you don't need any magic to save your friends, because the magic is within you. With the encouragement given by Gangaram, Laksha goes and saves his friends, and with the help of Mahesh, Lakshamana kills Mahakal. The same constable Radha also reached there with the rest of the police. But Kaptia Mahakal was not dead yet. He gets up, takes the gun and attacks Mahesh, and seeing him doing this, Laksha takes those bullets on his chest. Now Laksha was dead, and Mahesh in anger goes after Kaptia Mahakal and kills him. But here Kaptia Mahakal overpowers Mahesh. At that very moment, Uma shoots Kaptia Mahakal and kills him. Now here everyone was crying over Laksha's death. At that very moment Laksha suddenly regains consciousness and shocks everyone. Because Laksha was not dead, the locket which Gangaram had given him. The bullet fired by Kaptia Mahakal hit the same locket. Laksha was saved, but he was very angry with Gangaram, now that the magic sand was gone. So the time came for Gangaram to leave. Gangaram requests everyone to help him like he helped them. Similarly, he should also help someone in need. By just saying this, the magic on that bottle ends. Gangaram gets free and sets out on his path to salvation. And everyone thanks Gangaram and bids him goodbye. And the story of this movie ends with this scene. From this movie we learn that there is no greater magic in this world than friendship. And instead of believing in magic, a person should trust himself and move forward by working hard in his life. If you liked this story, please subscribe to the channel, so that you do not miss the stories of similar upcoming movies. Thank you for sticking to the story till the end.